Alright, so I went ahead and replaced the brake booster on this. The old one was missing a gasket, the main gasket in the front. This was just 4 bolts through the firewall, and then you have to disconnect your vacuum line here, and then unhook your brake lever. To pull it off from underneath here in the firewall, your bolts are up there, you can see them. And 50mm socket, a couple different size extensions. I pulled this off the steering column so that you can get better access in there with your socket. Be careful up in there with all of your wiring. Be careful not to hit that too hard. I mean, this is an old car. That stuff gets really brittle. Also, your stoplight switch up here. When you unhook your brake pedal, you're gonna have this flopping, and guess what? Your brake lights are gonna be on. So you can either unhook your stoplight switch there, or unhook your battery. I unhook the battery because I don't want to mess with this because it's all brittle, and I could break it and it'd be something else to fix. But yeah, here's what you got when you're done. And here's the new brake booster. This was all eaten away on my old one. It was eaten away just perfectly, so you couldn't tell, if you don't know what you're looking at, that this inner piece was all that was left. It was a perfect circle, so I thought that bushing was fine, that gasket. So I went ahead and got all new hardware for all that. Didn't come with it. Came with a new check valve, that's great. But yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like if you're disassembling it from the inside. You're gonna have to undo these in the firewall, and then this is gonna have your this is gonna be attached to your brake lever. So this is where the pin goes through, your cotter pin. So that's what you're gonna pull out. Also to note, there's gonna be a core charge. Core charge is when you bring in your old part to get a discount on your new part. So you will have to pull your old one, bring it with you, which is also good because then you can compare the two parts at your before you leave the shop. So my new booster came with a new check valve. So this thing is probably original. So I am going to take that off. If you can't get it off, because sometimes these hoses are really hardened from age, you can hit it with a heat gun and just heat this up, and it's going to soften your rubber up, so you can just pull it right off and put the new one back in. So I am glad that I got new hardware for this, because for some reason the existing hardware doesn't fit on this one. So I'm not sure why that is. The thread size is different. So look forward to that if you are replacing it. Alright, now here comes the fun part. Getting the hardware back on here. Even with the different thread sizes, it still ended up being 15mm socket you need. So I'll put this all on there, and I'll show you guys all hooked up. Before you tighten the nuts down, put on your cotter pin washer. See that cotter pin going down from the top? That's how it was when I took it off. I'm assuming that's how they want it, so it doesn't fall down, work its way loose and just fall down onto the floor. And then if your brake lever came loose, that'd be a very bad thing. Alright, we're all back together here. I'm gonna hook the battery back up and connect it. And give it a run. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to adjust the brake pedal as far as I'm gonna have to adjust the stoplight switch. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Okay, so the stoplight switch, as you can see, it's threaded, and then it's got a nut on the inside there. So what you're gonna do is loosen that nut, and then you're going to unhook your harness here. Careful, it's got these two clips here. Be really careful not to break them. So once you get that out of the way, then you can loosen that nut and spin it so that you can get this pedal. You want that to be pretty close. I'm going to do it a little closer. I mean, it's probably fine, but I'm going to adjust it so it's a little closer to